podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Tonight on Eyrie, we look for a Sennyd letter sent to the WRU, look back at a winning performance on Saturday night, and embrace the shithousery of hashtag Ireland Week. Stay tuned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I return from my illness. I'm joined, as always, by Grant, Bernie, and Jack. How you boys doing?
All good?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Yep.
I hope you boys are looking forward to some fun on Twitter throughout the next few days.
If I got the time to look at Twitter, yes. I know these days I'm more of a voyeur on Twitter.
Every now and then you see some nonsense going about, and it's very funny to interact and get annoyed at it. I feel it's a real highlight of my week. Given it's Ireland Week, we'll be going through some of our favourite tweets that I've seen, and I think some of the boys have seen later as a little aside. But until then, let's go straight into the news. The big item from this week is that the Sennyd had sent a letter to WRU effectively, or to quote, "Dear Mr. Collier Keywood, I'm right on the result. I write as a result of our evidence session yesterday. I would like to thank you, Alison Fawn and John, for appearing before the committee. We recognise the significant hard work that has been undertaken over the last few years to stabilise the WRU's financial position, as well as positive developments for the culture and the WRU. We also recognise that the WRU and individual leaders are sometimes exposed to criticism that's unduly harsh, especially online. However, it is clear to us that Welsh rugby is in a precious state, or precarious state. Uncertainty surrounding the future of Welsh regions has caused considerable concern to people across our nation. No shit. No programme of change could be achieved without building consensus for change. It's clear that union does not have consensus, needs to move forward with a proposal to reduce the number of regions size from 4 to 3, but the WRU must recognise that it has lost the argument over the future of a professional game. It's pretty damning.
I don't think it could have been any more damning, really, could it? Apart from saying specifically, you three at the top should just resign. You're disgraceful. I didn't expect anything that harsh and forthright. It was great.
Politicians picking a side is mental, yet alone when it seems to be on our side.
Well, a politician saying something directly is always a surprise, isn't it? I have to say, looking for change, no consensus to change. I'm fairly sure those are words that were uttered by one Grant Burney in one of the pods at some point. Definitely heard it before somewhere, so fair play.
I'm glad my words are rubbing off on some influential.
Do you not know Grant Burney? He's from the telly.
I haven't been on telly for a couple of weeks now. Okay, I'm getting withdrawal symptoms. Not. It's nice that things are fairly quiet at the moment, and then you see a letter like that, which is absolutely damning, and it just, you watch the session. If you watch the full hour, it's like, yeah, I'm really glad that the assembly members are really cross-examining what's being said. It's something that didn't happen in Parliament, and I thought fair play to the assembly members. Yeah, they dug their boots in. They were about as forthright as they could. Me statements like, "You've lost the argument. You have lost the argument. Nobody I know is in agreement with what you're doing." And Colin Keywood's response is, "I disagree with that. I don't recognise that point of view." So they still completely detached from reality. Or was it Parallel Universe was also quoted?
The question is now what happens with that letter. You know what I mean?
Well, again, yeah, the Senators don't manage the WRU, do they? But in terms of, they kept on stressing, you're not just it's not just a business. You are a sporting organisation.
Yeah. Yeah.
If confidence hasn't been lost with the general public already, it's not going to last any longer. I don't see where they go from now, because they can't really continue.
Well, what strikes me is no one's come out and been positive about their plan. Like, well, outside of the 3 to 4 people who think it's a good idea and have come up with it. You look at like commentators, and maybe I'm in an echo chamber, right? But in the lead up to this, everyone agreed there needs to be some form of change, right? You couldn't listen to a podcast or a sport commentator without saying Welsh rugby's in trouble. The production line's not there anymore. I think Di Young started it, didn't he, years and years and years and years and years ago, blew the whistle on it. And everyone agreed there needed to be change. And they've brought these ideas forward, and it strikes me that nobody is in favour for the change that they've suggested. I've not heard one person from people, was it the people who set up Admiral, to old players, to fans, to fanworks, to fan supporters bodies, to, now politicians as well. Like nobody says it's a great idea. Even players who had originally said, you know what, maybe we need to like restructure and reduce down to teams of two, and I go, hang on a second, like what does that do to playing opportunities? So it's almost like everyone's like there needs to be a change. They picked the most obvious one, which was, why we ended in the situation. Oh, we need to cut regions because everyone thought that would be the magic bullet. That's been put on the table. Everyone's looking at it and going, hang on a second, this is horseshit. It's probably not going to work. If you look at like examples of on many levels, not just on a playing level and a playing opportunity level, but a fan level and financial level and so on. But they still seem to persist with it, and it seems very, very confusing to me. That is the way it's going because no one seems to be positive about this anymore. But it's almost as if now it's like, well, we're bloody doing it, like
Well, they want to do it, but they are in the hands of the community clubs at the EGM now, and
yeah.
because I know that senior leadership in the WRU are still going to district meetings and saying there's no money for 4 professional clubs, and the fear is that my concern. It's only my concern. It's not factual. Is the WRU saying, if you carry on with 4 clubs, we short of money. The money's going to have to disappear from somewhere else. It may be you. I hope to God they're not doing that because, again, the consequences of going to 3 will be community clubs are going to suffer massively just because of the big hole left in the professional market for youngsters coming into the game in the first place, let alone
Yeah,
a couple of some beers on a Saturday. Then.
yeah, like the rumors going around about things like that, it's ridiculous, isn't it? The whispers of people saying, I'm going to walk out of this meeting if you don't agree to sell to these people, and if we keep 3 teams, then your club's going to go bust, and the community game and so on. Like, it's not good to have, like, it's all a symptom of a process that is absolutely toxic to the core. True or not true, the fact that those rumors come out and people give them kind of, air to breathe, and people go, I could see that happening, is just a symptom of a governing body that is just distrusted and, yeah, is clueless to the needs of the public, and the players, apparently. So there we go. But hey, they just hired somebody else, haven't they? So on a bunch of money. So there we go. Like maybe he'll be able to fix it.
It almost feels like rugby in its or the Welsh Rugby Union might be the least serious organisation I've ever seen, and both how they conduct themselves in general and what they come out with consistently. I've seen student societies run better than this.
Yeah.
They keep on saying the wrong thing as well. That's what astounds me. The Saturday session is like, they appear arrogant. They appear like they're not listening, and it's not changing.
We can only hope that this EGM triggers some sort of change
Yeah.
whenever it takes place in the next oncoming months. Another news this week, also in a slightly somber tone, but we'll get through it. Ospreys have confirmed that Cormac Foley has left the club, with it looks like Marco De Wit has gone as well, both at the end of their loan spells. And I just want to say thank you for your service. They've both been pretty good. Cormac Foley's been great, especially against Ulster. I thought he was very good, just controlling the tempo. Shame we didn't get to see more of Marco De Wit at the end of the day, but he had some nice cameos and seemed like he wanted it.
it's going to be tricky getting into the Ospreys back row, isn't it? Even doing it the Six Nations, considering the way the Welsh squad's been selected. It's a challenge for him to get anywhere near the squad. And cameo appearances is all we've seen of him. Yeah, fast and rangy, isn't he? And gone already. But and he's also there as cover for Jack Morgan, and there's rumours of Jack being fit in the coming sort of month or so.
I think I saw online that he's aiming to be back for the Connacht game,
Yeah,
which will be a huge boost, quite frankly.
yeah.
And one last piece of news on quite a funny note. It's been widely reported, but I do just want to laugh at it. The Six Nations trophy caught on fire on Monday after it got into an accident in a van. I just want to laugh at it because it's quite funny.
What was the trophy doing driving? Terrible joke. Sorry.
You've got to say, okay, when you look at the state of that trophy, I'm really glad that whoever was in the van got out in one piece, because that's a pretty severe fire damage, isn't it? And amazingly, okay, considering it's made of wood, the wooden spoon survived. Great, thanks a lot.
I think we're just better at keeping hold of it. We should hold on to the trophy as well, just for safekeeping at this point.
Are they just going to make another one exactly the same? Looks the same.
Yeah, I
Like,
think there's a temporary one being made for this season to
yeah,
award, and a new one being built for next season. So whoever wins this season gets a joking one.
doesn't count. Asterisk next to it.
It'd be a great time for Ireland to win it.
I wouldn't worry.
No, it wouldn't be, because that means they got to get past the mighty Wales on the weekend, and Friday night actually. But
No, they can lose to us and still win the championship. They just need France to lose twice in a row, which is
yeah, that's not happening, is it?
I can. No.
But you're saying things are a done deal, and you look at England's performance right the way through the Six Nations. No done deals,
Nope.
apart from maybe us.
But if you are going to insist on making your tactics about 50-50 balls in the air, then what are you expecting? Sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't.
To
Yeah,
be
well,
fair,
yeah,
I
they
like
got that, haven't they?
I like when they pick those tactics and then select a winger who doesn't fit those tactics. It's really fun. I'm also really annoyed that that winger gets a hat trick against us for
I watched that clip of Ben Thomas's assist again. It came up on my feed. My gosh. Like, it's all I gotta say, but it doesn't get better every time you watch it. But poor lad, but yeah.
I don't know who to feel back worse for. Reece Zammit, who's overrun it, or Ben Thomas, who's thrown it to England. No, let's move on to something positive. Ulster. That was a win.
They deserve that win. They work their guts out. And apart from the fact it looks like we slightly blunt in terms of finishing things off, okay, then we were on top for most of the game, weren't we?
You know, if you look at the statistics, on top in literally every statistic, every single one. Like the fact that it was looking like a defeat until the TMO stepped in. I was sitting there going, how? How has this happened? Like, but it didn't, because, a bit of a swinging arm, a bit of a chicken wing, a bit of a cheap shot, I thought. Don't know if everyone else thought that, but it was unnecessary contact, I think, is what did for him in the end.
I mean, he's straight off his feet and he's clattered into Owen Watkins' face on the floor. Like,
Yeah.
there's not much more to it. I mean, to go through a game in a whole, it was pretty poor. I think is what I'd use as a word I'd use to describe the first half. It's wet and pretty miserable. We obviously took the lead. Cormac Foley sniping at the base of rock 2 minutes in got me really quite excited. It must be said.
Yeah.
Luckily, from the ball, Moss Morality looking good. Giving away some soft scores though. It felt like Zach Ward's try didn't feel particularly earned, and Tom Stewart's just felt quite soft.
I thought Nathan Doak's awareness to put in that kick to Ward was really clever. Because you looked at, like, we were short of numbers. Ulster were really cramped up really tight, apart from Ward standing there on his own. Well, yeah, well judged kick. Bounce of a ball again, though, isn't it?
I think with the amount of pressure we had, especially towards the end of the half, it felt unlucky to go in half time down. But coming out of the second half, we just looked like we wanted to step on their throat for 40 minutes. I don't think there's more than sort of 10 minutes when we weren't in control of the ball outside the 22.
Yeah. James Ratty had a really big game, didn't he? I know.
Yeah.
Plaudits for the try, but his work rate was superb.
Yeah, he did. He big used his frame well, didn't he? A lot of carrying. I think 18 carries, I believe, something like that. Highest carrying total of anybody. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you see that level of detail in the URC stats, the individual stuff.
Mm.
He was immense, like just sort of dominant at the end of the day. He's really stepped up, I think, this season. Sort of take a step forward even from where he was last season. And then
yeah, we said to me last week, Jack, you watch, okay, we play in Ulster, we need a big back row. You can see, all right, the only thing we got wrong was the positions, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Morgan Morse playing at 8 rather than 7, but Moriarty plus Ratty.
He's got a bit of edge to it now. Got a bit
Yeah,
of bite to it.
yeah,
Both of them top in the carries as well. 16 for Moriarty, 18 for James Ratty. I mean, sharing the work like that and making meters as well, obviously. Like, yeah, what more could you ask for, really? It was a must-win game as well. I think that's something that needs to be like taken into account. Like that was the season there, really. Um,
it's a home game, isn't it? You need to take the points, and fair play. We dug, well, we didn't dig deep, did we? We just kept on battling and just
yeah,
backing away in a bit. I think it took its toll in the end on Ulster in terms of, I think we just wore them out.
yeah. I thought it was a bit of a weird game, as you said, like rainy. It didn't like conditions seemed a bit. The
Yeah.
game, like the flow of the game, seemed a bit weird as well in terms of like Ospreys having more possession, more of the game, and then Ulster going in ahead. It just had this strange feel to it. Even the tries at the end, like Sennyd's try, where he's kind of like bobbled up, and the guy's got over it and he's put it down. It's just a bit of a weird game, really. But yeah, I
Mm.
think that they played really really well, fronted up physically, and yeah, I thought Owen Watkin was brilliant again. Two turnovers. Why like
why didn't you start for Wales?
yeah.
Oh, because we're comfortable with our defence.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. But then you see Eddie James has made, the most meters, 60 odd meters from outside centre, something like that. So today. So I don't know. Big fan of playing 12s at 12s and 13s at 13 though, as you
Yep.
keep saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, okay, big mention to the terrace in the brewery field. Okay, it was absolutely mental. The noise levels was superb on the weekend. All right, we were on top. We weren't getting over the line. Okay, but the noise coming from the terraces when we were in attack and defence. The fact that we end up singing Heinvard and Harder as well. You don't know. I can't remember the last time we did that in Ospreys game, but people were just really on the up. Lots of singing, lots of Carl on La. Lots of chanting. It was a pleasure. Apart from the fact my back started aching about 10 minutes into the game. Yeah, it's great on the terrace on the weekend.
Stuff like that, you think you'd be playing. Like, the terrace played a big part. My personal favourite bit was at least crowds getting right under Rob Herring's skin, like missing two lineups back to back.
And when they were taking the time, everyone just kept on going. Oh, it went on a very long time. And I think someone on one of the other podcasts, Mr. James Rees, might have had something to do with that. Good boy, good effort, boy.
Good chat, good night.
Yeah.
Do you boys have any other personal highlights? I know I certainly have one.
My highlight is Ospreys Supporters Club organised a protest march starting in town, starting at the Ospreys Club shop, wandering past the the Wetherspoons in the middle of town, and the Wyndham Arms, where we picked up a lot of people, funnily enough. Okay, and yeah, another great event, well supported, and we really appreciate fans turning up and making the effort. So cheers, everyone.
big shout out to Yeston Hopkins. He's my highlight nearly every weekend now. Honestly,
Oh,
His tackle at the end on Werner Cock.
yeah, he's class. He's absolutely class. Like I can't. Yeah, again, he's got that feeling of the making of like another cult hero, isn't he? You know?
It's got very Dan Evans feel.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Small stature, big heart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It was really funny to see Werner Cock that one up.
There were a few
Yeah.
shouts. There were a few shouts of what a cock during that game. He didn't have his greatest game, did he? Win a cock. I can't say where the shouts might have come from.
I do have to. I think my personal highlight would have to be Harry Deves doing 2 roly-polies on the way to making 20 metres.
The exact words of someone standing next to me. All I've watched him do since he's come on is roly polies.
It's great. It's sort of a cheat code in sort of playing Street Fighter or something. And you do a roly-poly move and you just go for 10 minutes. That's it.
Yeah, fair play. Oh yeah.
We've gone all this time without mentioning 150 appearances, solid in the scrum.
More than solid.
Hero in terms of
Yeah.
scrimmaging. My God, yeah.
Gareth Thomas, yeah. He's just such a his set piece is just brilliant, isn't it? You know, I think he begged to come back as well, didn't he? To play his 150th, apparently. He really wanted to get out of camp and come down.
Yeah. Great interview with him after the game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's been really unfortunate. I mean, Reece Carey's been brilliant, obviously, and then Nicky Smith is top class as well. But considering like the amount of work that he put in, you know, when they weren't picking Reece Carey and all the games he played in, you know, it's a shame that now he does, you know, yeah. But there we go.
Well,
Um,
you do wonder against Italy, okay, when you come up against probably one of the best scrums in the tournament, whether you might see Gareth Thomas drafted straight back into the starting lineup based on his scrummaging performance
yeah,
and position in that game.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know if he's a particular of Steve favourite of Steve Tandy at the moment. I haven't made a minute and not really. Other than he played against South Africa in that one test, but
Yeah.
I think that's forced more than anything else. Either way, he was a superb weekend, same as all the props really. Stephen Thomas and Tommy both are coming on, dominating. Angus Bell was very funny, and Reece Henry, pure sex as always.
It feels like we've said, you know, we used to have like our own version of a bomb squad, didn't we, when we had Tom Francis and, you know, and Nicky Smith available as well. And it's almost like, it feels like we're back there in terms of that dominance in the scrum. It's great. Good effort, boys.
Proper Ospreys team with a proper Ospreys scrum. That's all you really want.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, well, yeah, fortunately, that wasn't the only result this weekend, as we have plenty of results throughout the community over the last few weeks, I'm sure, Grant.
Yes, I've got a lot to share. Bear with me. Okay. Can you see my screen?
yep.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. SRC semi-finals. RGC 42, Bridgend 5. Bridgend getting nothing from the long trip up to North Wales. And Swansea 21, Carmarthen Quins 5. So RGC Swansea final lined up now.
Do we know where that's being played?
It's being played in Cardiff Arms Park this weekend, clashing with Six Nations games. Maybe not the Wales game, but other games. And I don't think it's been covered on TV either, which is a bit bonkers, really. Right. Moving on, Premiership, Neath 15, Bargoed 21, Neath remaining fourth with Bargoed fifth behind them. Championship East, Bridgend Athletic 49, Eyrie 12. Good home win for the Athletic there. Championship West, Amherford 34, Gleneath 10. Ballermine 43, Aberystwyth 21. Crummock 25, Tartar Steel 24. Dunvan 33, Gorseinon 17. Kenfig Hill 8, Gowerton 3. And Trebarnos 45, Newcastle Emlyn 29. Moving on to League One West, Swansea Uplands, big home win, 54-17 against Larne. League Two West, Loughor 33, Nantgaredig 27. League One West Central, Aberafon Green Stars 14, Builth Wells 21. Abercrave 24, Vardra 12. Nantafellon 21, Hale Cuse 17. Skewen 12, Ystrad 50. And finally in League One West Central, Ystalyfera with a big win, 71-7 at home to Maesteg Quins. It's big. I think that's the biggest score. Sorry, the biggest score was Whitland again down in League 6 East Central. We'll come back to that now. League 2 West Central, Aberafon Quins 27, Bryncethin 15, Brynhaman 42, Southgower 6, Mumble 33, Morrisdown 36. Neath Athletic, Puthcall ending 12 all. League 3 West Central, Nantymoyle 29, Baglan 17. Rickos 19, Brincourt 27. Sem Sisters 8, Carmarthen 36, Tonmawr 21, Maesteg Celtic 17. Finally in League 3 West Central, Tonna 13, Resolven 15. League 4 West Central, Bridgend Sports 14, Bonamine Athletic 48, Britain Ferry 17, Pontardawe 14. Cwmgors 10, Maesteg 35, good away win for Maesteg there. Gleis 21, Cefn Cribw 52. And finally in League 4 West Central, Penlan 24, Crynant 7. League 5 West Central, Banwyn 0, Cwmgrach 17. Yeah, that's not nice being nilled at home, is it? Dunvant with a good home win, 49-28 to Glencorrwg. And Pontardawe 36, Cwmllinford 28. Finally, League 6 East Central, St Peter's Athletic 12, Bridgend Athletic seconds 14, good away win there. And Tondy Athletic 68, Rumney Athletic 12. And at the bottom of the league there, Whitland, who were already deducted points due to not filling fixtures. I think they lost, 112-0. So Whitland are taking a pasting of them this season.
Some properly rough fixtures there. And some...
Sorry.
Sorry.
We could cut that and do a section like and put it out there. You know, like when people used to get them drunk and you listen to the shipping forecast. And you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea where these places are. You recognize a few points, but yeah, it's just very, very relaxing. I reckon we start doing the same with the community results with Grant. Putting them out there.
Go around the Google map quick enough to find them, okay? That'll be quite impressive.
I can give it a go as for an approach when we're done.
Shipping forecast. Right, okay, I'll try and put a bit more into it next time, is it? Thanks.
It was very relaxing. I enjoyed it.
Need some old school jazz music on top, just to seal the deal.
Oh, not again.
Let's move on then. Final action, or the big one this week. It's Ireland Week, boys. Naturally, Twitter's been a bit quieter than usual. There's been less back and forth. It feels a little bit disappointing. No, Edward Jenkins seems to be retired, which is really quite annoying, but I'm sure we found something quite funny. I've got 3 tweets to show you, boys, all of which are quite good. And
I've never heard of an Ireland Week up until now. Mate, do I live a sheltered life? I don't think so, but...
Is it just that Gatlin used to slag him out in the press for days beforehand, and then like everyone took to Twitter to get at it?
yeah,
I feel like that's what it is. I'd never heard about it either. I just like, oh, it's Ireland Week. What hand grenade has Warren Gatlin thrown out there this week? Like, you know. But
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. Without Gatlin, it does feel a bit off, but it's still funny even more.
Also, Wales are shit. That's probably not helping either. Like,
very good point. People in glass houses with half the glass panels missing.
It's hard to give. It's hard to give it someone you never know if you're going to lose by 3 points or lose by 50.
Well, Andy Farrell has named himself on the bench, so I think he might be losing by 3 this week, at least. I mean, it's clearly become this is a funny tweet, natural, only thing funny Rugby Inside Lines put out in years. It's a pretty Ireland team as a whole, you got to say.
I quite like the backs in terms of like trying to pick a big, that's a big side considering Banyaki isn't there, isn't it?
I am slightly scared about McCloskey at 12, but
Yeah.
Move him around. Move him around.
did
There's
you see
no.
what he did to Marcus Smith last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, yeah, I know, but
Yes, that was impressive.
everyone raises a game for England, don't they? Or so they say.
Fingers crossed.
We
Well,
hope.
it worked for us today.
Oh, honestly, watching how England have been, it's just compounded how terrible that performance was. It's annoying me more now, midway through the tournament, than it did at the time.
It's almost like, right, I want to play England next. Again, we've already played them. We got stuffed. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind playing this Ireland team. I think we can get at them. I don't think they're taking us particularly seriously.
It says something for the state of Welsh rugby when Ireland put out the weak side against us, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I, I don't get Shea not being around the squad though. I think he's miles above anybody else in terms of number two shirt performances. I hope it doesn't come to bite them on the arse or not.
Yeah, I mean, I find it hard to say anything about it because this is not like a fully loaded island team. A few people are going to get a decent but still a lot of Lions in there, players in there. They've not been good for the majority of the tournament. They were good against England to an extent, um, but you never know what Wales are going to turn up. Are we going to get the Wales and also so it's just. I find it hard to think anything about it, to be honest. I just go off like vibes on the day for me, really. But yeah, it's not what I don't see them doing, which is what Scotland did, which got us through actually caused Wales a lot of trouble, is moving the ball. There was a lot of space because of how smart the Scotland targeted people and these little tip-offs and stuff. This team looks like we're going to run at you and then just try to get quick ball. It's a very Gatland team, actually, funny enough. There we go. I've got involved in Ireland Week. It's a very Gatland team, that,
I
which
think
is a lot of,
McCloskey might be the most Gatland centre to ever
yeah.
exist.
Yeah, someone get that cut out there. Just see out the Irish bite. Like this Irish team is basically a Warren Gatland team. Um, and so yeah, just expect them to run straight at Dan Heads all day, I suppose, is what they think. But I don't know. There'll be a lot of tackling, let's put it that way. And it was because there's no one who's going to slow the ball down for Wales, really, is it? That's been a massive problem for Wales. Is the breakdown of slowing the ball down?
And with bringing Jim Botham in might help as a bit more of a seven.
On us.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very much 6.5, but like that's at least 6.5 rather than just a 6.
Yeah, you're thinking like we haven't got an out and out seven, and you look at the Irish team and go, oh my god, they just got three massive number eights basically.
Yeah.
And Tad Burn in the second row.
Oh,
There's a Jacqueline threat that's in the second row.
yeah.
I think he was a skiing holiday away from re-signing for the Scarlets and probably becoming Welsh qualified.
Yeah, but he'd also be playing for Scarlet, so he'd be pretty shit. This is one not to come out with this thing.
I saw when I was researching Ireland Week, 'cause I'd never heard it before, I did see a funny tweet which was from last year, which is that reports of the Six Nations selling games to the US. And there was an Irish fan claiming that the first team that would sell a game to the US would be Wales, and we'd sell everyone down the river coming from the team that regularly has games at Soldier Field, no? Um, so yeah, interesting take that, all things considered. But yeah.
we can keep going with Ireland week, or we can
Go on.
maybe have a quick gander at the Welsh team itself, which seems, you know what, it's a team. It certainly is a team.
It's a team.
I'm hesitant to call it good, but it seems to be pretty standard considering.
It's
Yeah.
almost like he doesn't want to make too many changes, isn't it? Because otherwise, is he going to learn anything if he puts out a different centre partnership every game? Is he going to, same in the back row? But
I mean, that's 7 jerseys just being held on to until the summer, realistically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan Eds is back in as well, isn't he?
I just hope he gets a little bit of service this week.
Yeah, honestly, like, yeah, he's looked like a player really low on confidence. And yeah, I mean, I can completely understand why. Um, but do you know what? You know, in that Scotland game, a standard was set by Costello. You know, there was a standard set, and I'm sure he'll want to get out there and prove what he can do as well. And say, hey, look, like it was only a few games ago you were talking about how great I was, and my running game was so good and so on. A few bad games, and everyone seems to have forgotten about me. I feel like that 10 years is exactly the same, which is that like we can't keep chopping and changing 12 and 13, and we can't keep chopping and changing 10. Like it needs to be somebody's team. And I understand that you've got to get up and claim it, but like a couple of bad games and then but then again, it's all very hard because he's very, very young. And ideally, he probably shouldn't be in this position in the first place. So, you know, yeah, I want to see him go well.
I want to see him play with a bit more confidence. Just back himself almost. Just a
Yeah.
bit
But
more.
he played 2 games, didn't he, with Thomas Williams kicking the leather off the ball with a very, very simple game plan. So, his main involvement in the game was like back rowers running at him.
Yeah.
Costello, there's a change in style in the last game, which really, really worked. I just hope we continue with the same sort of attitude in terms of trying to move the ball a bit more. We've got Eddie James playing well. I still think he's a 12 out of 13. You've got Ellis Me back in the team. Now's the time to try and move the ball about a bit, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
think if we can get some front football for any means necessary, we'll be okay. Stanners are so good on the front foot, just keeping it going, taking 2 3 meters at a time. It seems to be how this Wales side want to play, where we're not going to score screamers from 50 meters out, but we're going to bully you into your 22 and then convert, which felt like the feeling against Scotland at least. And let's just hope that our defence is good enough to force the mistakes out of Ireland. It's a real way I see us getting anything out of this game.
I've caught Deepwater Horizon, hope ain't a tactic. That's where we are.
Not like we have much else. There's one notable inclusion. That's Louis Hennessy on the bench, 23 jersey, who is new. It's a new toy. I'd like to see him come on for Joe Hawkins at some point and have a go at 13 as we at 12. I think that'd be quite exciting.
Yeah. He plays 13 for Bath, doesn't he?
Yeah, 13 on wing. I don't think he's quite got the out and out pace for a winger in
I
international
mean,
rugby.
look, he's 21. He's 191 meters, which is 6'4" or 6'5" or something, isn't it? 101 kilos. Probably what Wales need a little bit of. It's just a bit. I'm always skeptical about this. Whenever there's like a shiny new player from England, they're like, the Wales Online will have an article about how amazing they are, and then you watch them play and you're like,
Yeah.
mm. So we'll see. It's an interesting inclusion. Um, but yeah, and then we've got yeah, one, two, three, four ex-Ospreys on that bench as well, haven't we? So
Yeah, well, three
and
ex Ospreys.
current Ospreys as well, I should say,
Yeah,
and Keane Hardy.
Yeah, three ex-Ospreys on the bench, 2 ex-Ospreys starting.
Yeah.
Including Dav Jenkins in the academy as ours.
Claiming that one.
Be 3x Ospreys.
Joe Hawkins as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Imagine if we had some money, the team we'd have. There we are.
Yeah.
Imagine if we kept Tom Francis.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's wrap this up, hopefully on something positive. I don't think this will be particularly positive, but a prediction, something funny, score.
I'll go with a prediction. I think we'll stay within 7 points. We're not going to win.
You know what? I take that.
That's what it's come to. Like a success is staying within 7 points.
I see Ireland not putting in the performance they did last time round, but I just don't think we've got the team, the cohesion to take on Ireland out in Dublin. Yeah, so my positive. I'm normally massively positive. I'll say we'll stay within 7. In terms of funny things to happen, I reckon the Neither streaker who appeared in Beather is going to appear in Dublin and do the same thing.
Good lads. Wish them all the best. Hope to see us nice on TV. Jack?
Wales to win. Wales to win.
Is that the funny thing of the prediction?
Wales to win by 3. And the funny thing is Andy Farrell has actually put himself on the bench for this game. And he is going to come on. And we're all going to be shocked.
That'd be quite fun. I personally, I don't think I'm quite as positive. I think Ireland by 15, where we get a try to seal it in sort of the 75th minute. Take it beyond doubt. But I think that my funny thing is Aaron Wainwright's going to get put out on day. Harry Dees is going to come onto the bench, come on, and then do a roly-poly.
Yeah, it'd be great to see Harry Dees taking on a back row that size, isn't it, in terms of just the chaos he can cause.
And just imagine him on media doing sort of Gatland era Ireland week. Be utterly superb.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think with that, that's all we have time for. Unless there's anything else I've missed.
No, not for me.
Excellent. We'll end it on the memory of one thing, one very specific try, which I think we all love. If we can get a repeat of, I think, 2010, Mike Phillips running down the wing.
I was there.
I was there as well. I was in the stadium that day.
He was running straight down the line towards me to score that.
I'll end on my favourite Ireland week moment of the week. It's Andrew Ford's with his complete skullduggery free try of all time. And yes, it got more bites. It's a great. Please go have a look when you have some spare time. Great finish as well, by the way.
Oh, yeah, completely illegal. There we are.
Look,
The referee said it's legal. It's not been ruled out, and it's been like best part of 14 years.
exactly.
So it must have been legal.
I love that handoff.
It's so unnecessary, and yet
The shirts are awful though. The kit is atrocious.
maybe the worst Wales kit in recent memory. But let's be fair.
Well, Arsenal-esque.
Yeah, paint it on like you wouldn't be happy if you were a prop, would you?
I'm not happy, okay, as an ex-winger. The problem I want these days.
I think we'll leave it there for this week. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure, gents, and we will hopefully chat to you next week, maybe with something.
Yeah, we did say we might look at getting someone on next week.
Maybe watch your space. We'll let you know on our socials if we do. Until then, enjoy Ireland's week.